Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about the digital asset space, and let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. I have about 28 tabs open here. I just wanted to do kind of an information dump, data dump type of thing. I don't feel like making a bunch of separate videos. My internet connection has been in and out today, and I'm honestly not feeling too well. So for those of you that stick around, hopefully I'll be able to bring up some points that have not been shared. And a lot of them, at least on YouTube, a lot of great minds in the XRP community, and researchers, King Solomon, Matthew, Liny, sharing some content that we haven't really connected here, or that I've seen other content creators share on YouTube as well. So with that, let's just kind of talk about, obviously, the well-known news and discussions today before we get into all that. So, Binance, guys, as we can see here on the blockcrypto.com, is set to acquire CoinMarketCap. The deal could be worth as much as $400 million. People are arguing about that valuation. They kind of break it down here and just talk about, when we could see this happening, if it's fair value or not, etc. Essentially, as we can see right here, CoinMarketCap attracts 80% more traffic than Binance. So to get a quick ROI, we know Binance is, a multi-billion-dollar exchange relatively quickly. CZ, of course, as we can see in this picture, he literally went from like almost nothing to billionaire within 6 months or something like that in 2017 when he launched this exchange. Wildly successful exchange as well. Some people feel indifferent about him. That's up to you, doesn't matter. And as we can see here, share of web traffic amongst crypto exchanges. You can see Binance has 21, almost 22% here. Coinbase is just below it. And I know in the United States, we might be more familiar with Coinbase, but globally, I would say Binance takes the cake. All right, and then again, guys, we have a few other, metrics, so that is up to you. We'll see what happens if they'll actually pay as much as $400 million. Some people say that's overvalued. I think in a space that is destined to go and transfer, well, obviously already billions, I believe digital assets are going to be transferring trillions of dollars in the future as we, start to come into fruition more and more of digital value, a tokenized economy, commercial real estate, metals, companies, asset fractionalization, etc. So to me, I think this is going to pay off easily if they decide to merge or, acquire CoinMarketCap. Next, I just wanted to share this by Status at STEDAS. This quote's been shared around and again, and this is Marcus Treacher, head of customer success at Ripple. He has a background, of course, with, board member of Swift and also spent years at HSBC. So his quote here, digitizing payments, getting away from handling cash is the best way to help people remit money abroad in these difficult times. All right, we're going to be talking about some new applications that are available as well. I know a lot of people are talking about the SUM application, XUMM, and that is an awesome accomplishment, but I will actually be talking about some others as well today. All right, shared here. Hopefully my internet stays up. This is shared by Spring again, the Spring initiative that, got $500 million to invest in the XRP ecosystem, get various developers and incentivize the developer community to build on the XRP ledger. So right here, we can see delivering on our commitment to ship new updates to the development community each quarter. Now, Spring Wallet and the SDK now support streaming payments with Interledger on the testnet. As we can see, Interledger protocol in XRP, obviously, since it is value agnostic, it can use any crypto or any digital asset for value transfer. Typically, it will pick the fastest asset and the fastest payment route. So we know that they've been built in tandem. I know it is very possible for another cryptocurrency to take over and do better things than XRP in the future. Liquidity is still necessary. So I do believe, and maybe that is my confirmation bias from a lot of research, but I still believe that XRP and ILP will be built and used in tandem. Along with other assets as well. I just think that XRP is most likely to be one of the main points of value. All right, next up, talking about the ITFA. As we can see here, this is the International Trade and Forfeiting Association. This is shared by Matthew, Liny, must follow here on Twitter. So, Tradecast, looking beyond COVID-19. So just to kind of connect the dots here, guys, foot on the gas, has COVID-19 inadvertently accelerated trade digitization? This is the push. Again, never let a good crisis go to waste. I believe there's multiple things happening and playing out on many levels that, for example, I have no idea about. But what I'm saying is we can see there is a push for a cashless society. Do I believe we'll ever be 100% cashless? No, I'm not really sure. It might take a long time. What I'm saying is they're going to be using this to their advantage to push the tokenization of assets and get, mobile money electronic money, and truly digitize a lot of the currencies, central banks, etc. So right here, a total of 23 fintechs, financial technology firms joined the ITFA since mid-2017. We can already see a few names that we recognize right from the get-go. Of course, the biggest that I see at least are R3 and Finastra, both obviously connected to XRP and the company Ripple as well. All right, let me see if there's anything else. Digital options, new funding, etc. So again, just another push. Just wanted to share that what he found, so I appreciate that. Next, QSR Wrap. So ING, RippleNet partner, working on digital asset custody technology phases: acceptance, approval, implementation, use, custody, adoption, obligation. All right, remember, Miguel Valles, as we've already shared, former CME executive of CME Group, obviously, and basically he was just saying custody is key before we can see high prices, high utility, high usage on the network. So this is good. We're going in the right direction as always. All right, and then what did Peter Voss share here? Exclusive ING working on digital asset custody tech by Reuters. Okay, haven't seen that one, but I already read that other article, so basically already explains it. Next up, Matthew Linney again, and I just say Linney, L-I-N-Y. Sygnum Bank launches digital franc or Swiss franc token. So what I found interesting here, there's going to be some FUD as well, but I do find it to be interesting as we see more central banks develop their own digital currency. So we can see they've announced their own digital CHF. Right, the CHF pegged settlement token is the first to be used by a regulated Swiss bank with full digital asset banking suite. We can see here leverages DLT-based financial infrastructure, including immediate delivery versus payment, and no counterparty risk is one of the many benefits, reducing intermediaries, disintermediation. The settlement token framework and technology developed can be replicated with other major national currencies. I think this is just the beginning. I think that we may see, if this is successful, many other groups and central banks and countries will follow suit. Now, what I found interesting right here is this. The Sygnum Digital, Swiss franc, acts as a bridge between other digital assets and fiat currencies, increasing transaction ease and efficiency. Sygnum's DLT-based digital Swiss franc can be transferred in real time, resulting in almost immediate settlement of transactions and eliminating the need for intermediaries. All right, we're going to see more and more of this. I can guarantee it. Now is the best time as we are going digital, pushing that cash is infectious, etc., whatever narrative they want to spin or sell. And it can make sense as well. All right, XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple hints about building a next-generation trading platform connected to XRP directly, on-demand liquidity. Ripple's hiring engineers right now, looking for an engineering manager to lead the on-demand liquidity experience, next-generation trading platform, and defining the future of on-demand liquidity and RippleNet. Very, very interesting. Again, we don't really need to go too in depth with this article because a lot of it is, still in the works, but I do find it to be interesting. Obviously, with RippleNet, not only that, but the XRP ledger, low transaction cost, scalability, etc. of XRP makes it a great solution to build upon as well. And that is why it's quite easy to incentivize a lot of these, Spring developers as well. And so this was, an actual quote on the job listing. So next generation trade platform integrated with on-demand liquidity. And interesting how they make RippleNet almost like a social media platform for all of these financial institutions and banks that want to sign on. It's almost like a social media network. So right here, they're actually looking to kind of make a trading platform on top of this. So it makes me question, things like Sologenic as well, and having other stocks and ETF options. And then tying it back to right here, David Short, CTO of Ripple, saying that the company's working on a feature that, lets users also launch asset-backed tokens on the XRP ledger. And then remember, Ripple, we acquired the Logos network in September last year, working on DeFi, decentralized payments. All right. And this is going to help Ripple create decentralized finance platforms as well on the XRP ledger. Could these all be connected? Right here, talking about this DeFi system. So again, every time I say DeFi, it's decentralized finance. XRP at the core, obviously, the best asset, the most liquid assets will win. XRP's goal, said many times, is to be as liquid as a G10 currency. Now, with high liquidity and a higher value, you just simply cannot compete. All right. Whew. Next up, XRP_Crow. So here's a quote again by Christine Lagarde, and she was the former IMF director, now the president of the European Central Bank. I guess I'll just go to the end. Essentially, the quote is, that's where I see change happening now. If you think of Circle and Ripples, again, she does speak another language. She means Ripple, the company, which, they've worked with multiple times, or at least consulted with at the very least. And they say that's where they're active and helpful. All right, and now this is when she is president of the ECB. Something that is quite obvious. I'm not going to act like it's a prediction. I think it's pretty much going to be happening in the next few years is, groups like Circle, Ripple, and Coinbase will most likely IPO. And if you, think so or don't think so, let me know down below too. All right, you heard it there. All right, next up, hopefully my internet stays up. So this is shared by Mbiagi. Again, SAP, guys, is a Ripple partner. And yes, we're connecting the dots, but we're just seeing what other, their partners and their partners of partners are building. I don't want to say every single cross-border payment has to do with XRP. I don't want to be hyping you guys up, but I just want to show you what they are building and basically validating the need that XRP is built to, support and actually solve. So right here, Goldman Sachs becomes part of SAP's, I can't even talk, Ariba network. As we can see here, they teamed up with SAP, the European software company implementing its cross-border payment services, and now they're using SAP's Ariba solutions. The partnership is obviously made to, simplify and make it less costly for buyers to pay foreign suppliers in local currencies. More than $3.2 trillion is transacted in commerce by global businesses and suppliers through the Ariba network. All right, around 4.6 million companies make up the Ariba network, covering 190 countries, which SAP says makes it the largest business network in the world. I think that's pretty substantial to include in the news. And again, this was shared by Mbiagi, so thank you so much for that. And I know other people have shared, Ariba, but I guess maybe I just haven't really seen this specifically. And really quick, I want to actually see when this article is written. It could be really old. No, I mean March 20th, March 23rd. All right. Next, King Solomon. So we got March 20th, 2020. IGTB partners with First Abu Dhabi Bank to enhance liquidity management capabilities through significantly new digital capabilities. We know that IGTB is also Ripple enabled. There's a bunch of NDAs. At this point, it's pretty safe to assume that, most of the major banks are RippleNet enabled. It could be a really good thing, but keep in mind, many that we see are not even using XRP yet. We've heard the rollout strategy, and this does lead me to believe more of a mass enablement application in the future, but it's also really strange to me that we've had Brad Garlinghouse, we've had so many people talking about global liquidity solutions and XRP being the one. We've heard them say, even people from Ripple, Digital Asset Investor has brought this up, Mr. B, a bunch of people in the community have brought it up and shown clips of people at Ripple saying, yes, XRP could play a role in a global liquidity crisis or the next, recession or depression. And now that we're actually a part of it, crickets. Where are they? They have some good videos. I know Digital Asset Investor and Mr. B, XRP, released both good videos today discussing this topic. I just wanted to share that. Right? First Abu Dhabi Bank is Ripple enabled, and just talking about, new capabilities as well in the area of liquidity management. This may have nothing to do with XRP. I just wanted to show you the transformations that they are working on as well. All right, other screenshots, and they do mention Ripple, a global payments network built on blockchain to provide real-time cross-border payments to its corporate customers. So yes, they are included right there. All right, and then again right here on IGTB's website, overlay and pre-processing optimizes payment executions through, and at the very bottom, Ripple enabled for cross-border transactions using distributed ledger technology. Very nice. So thank you, King Solomon, for sharing that. Next up, we got Gina the Crocodile sharing this. A reminder that Infosys is working with Ripple, is in control of the core engine of Centrelink. I believe it's just Centrelink. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing that wrong again. Part of services in Australia. I've never personally heard of them, but I'm sure if you're from there, it's probably well-known. I'm assuming it's relatively well-known. All right, and we'll be digitizing Australian government payments. So let's take a quick look at this. So as we can see here, guys, Infosys wins mega deal to replace Centrelink entitlement engine. Right here, they've selected, the Australian government themselves has selected Infosys to replace a significant part of Centrelink's 30-year-old welfare payment system. All right, so we shall see this delivers about $100 billion in payments to over 7 million people each year. And it also beat Accenture and IBM to this deal, and I often question why. We know their relationship as well, especially Accenture to all cross-border payments for that matter. IBM is a little bit more involved, I'd say, with Stellar and the Stellar Foundation, but again, you can draw connections, partners of partners as well, both direct and indirect. All right, next up, shared by Matthew Liny again. So we got Tech Mahindra, DBS Trial, Marco Polo, the R3 blockchain trade finance network. So what does this have to do with Ripple? Well, let's tie it together and show how some of these groups are RippleNet partners. So right here, actually shared by XRP Darren here, shows that Tech Mahindra is also a RippleNet partner. Excuse me. So we can see right here, IBM and multinational India-based Mahindra are developing a blockchain-based trade finance solution to offer to banks in India. All right, facilitating trade finance transactions between buyers and sellers. Now we can see right here, media release of June 2018, Kotak Mahindra Bank to accelerate cross-border remittances with RippleNet. Now keep in mind, they have no obligation to share who they're partners with. It's not like they're screaming it from the media. These are simply documents just, exemplifying and sharing the fact that a lot of these banks are connected. We've heard, what was the gentleman's name? He said that, we had well over 50% of the banks in India on, in Ripple's time, or what was the term? Basically, they have over 50% of the banks in India as RippleNet partners. Now, that does not mean XRP, but you know the plan and how they implement it over and over and over again. And if you guys simply do not believe that they're going to use XRP in the future in scale to actually save another 20 to 30%, and they're just going to stick with Xcurrent and XRP is a scam, I don't know what to tell you. Leave this video, go do your own research, and simply sit back and watch the years to come, because this is simply happening. Brad Garlinghouse, they've all said that if you do not understand, or if you don't realize XRP's role in all of this, then you simply have no idea. They're not doing it to sell and, get funds. They actually want to use this technology. They are a payments company using a blockchain solution. XRP, they've said time and time again, is going to be an instrumental and fundamental part of the future for Ripple. So I believe that the price is going to appreciate. Back in the day, David Schwartz and other people used to actually speculate with the community. They fully intend a higher valued XRP price. And I believe that if or when Ripple does IPO, that XRP's price will be significantly higher than it is now. All right, and then showing Ripple again with Exani, Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, Hyperledger Indy, R3 Corda, Stellar, etc. And again, number of clients engagements, not disclosed. Possible use cases around integrating to IBM Payments Hub. So see right there, kind of connecting the dots with IBM and Ripple right there. I know people say that IBM is only for Stellar. I believe that this space is going to have a lot of, winners, the most reputable, perhaps not 3,000 cryptocurrencies like in CoinMarketCap, but who says that the top 50 or 100 can't survive? All right, next up, Ganesh Hiramath sharing this. So guys, look out how different types of CBDCs, which will be rolled out by various central banks in the next month or so. So we'll see if they're actually rolled out, but I do believe that they've been working on CBDCs for a while. There's proof and trials dating back to 2015, 2016 that they've been working on different versions of central bank digital currencies. This isn't a conspiracy. The whole conspiracy and hope is that we have XRP to some degree bridging these assets. If not, then we're going back to just focusing on the remittance space and cross-border payments, and then hopefully get into the capital markets as the space matures, just like that original NTT data and Everest company document shared. So we can just see, I'm not going to go into the technicalities of this, but we can see different types of CBDCs. So we have indirect CBDCs, we have direct CBDCs, and then we have hybrid CBDCs. And you'll notice the term synthetic a lot as well. All right, feel free to pause it or again, follow this gentleman on Twitter. You can follow me because I do retweet it. And this is Ganesh. Okay, and then Hiramath, and hopefully I'm just saying it, or Hiramath. I apologize if I butchered that. All right, next up, XRP Crypto Wolf. So in line with CBDCs, we got France's central bank is launching a program of experiments to test the integration of a central bank digital currency in innovative procedures for the exchange and settlement of tokenized financial assets between financial intermediaries. And we got the link as well, a few screenshots just to support this, March 27th, 2020. And we got the Bank of France sharing this in the Euro system. We can see here, aim of the call for applications, various criteria, the creation of a central bank digital currency, again, to guarantee a more efficient payment system. Central banks are studying the possibility of issuing a new kind of central bank money in digital form, just like we've seen with the stimulus payments in the United States with COVID-19. All right, and we can see they're launching the program, integration of central banks. And this is exactly what CryptoWolf shared. And we can see test use cases for CBDC. We can see payment in central bank money against delivery of listed or unlisted financial instruments. So delivery versus payment. You'll also see DVP as an acronym. And we can also see payment versus payment. Payment in central bank money against the digital currency of another central bank. And then lastly, payments in central bank money against digital assets as defined in the French Monetary and Financial Code. All right. Next up. Right here, XRP CryptoWolf again. So Qatar's central bank launches the Qatar Mobile Payment System, QMP, for cashless transactions. Is it just me, or are you guys starting to see the connection, shared by payments.com and Finextra and, all these groups? They're constantly showing the innovation of payments going more and more digital, mobile networks, banking networks, cloud networks, etc. So it aims to enable electronic wallets on people's mobile phones to carry out electronic payments from one person to another with mobile QR codes in an instant. All right. And again, this is the governor of Qatar Central Bank, right? They're sharing this information. There's probably plenty of other countries sharing, and following suit. We've already talked about the countries in the Caribbean and the Bahamas doing the same thing for, CBDCs. All right, next, this is pretty cool here. So Matthew Liny again, Quartz TM blockchain solution for enterprises and ecosystems showcase RippleNet interoperability. So we know Tata, an absolute behemoth. I know King Solomon did a good video showing them. So Tata Consultancy Service. Before we get into this, we can just go over here. So Tata Consultancy Service adopts Ripple technology. This was from April 2019. And before, me, guys, I have comments saying, old news, bro. Guys, go find a new channel to watch. I'm simply sharing and connecting the dots for everything. And in the future, just remember that we told you so. So TCS is part of Tata Group, an Indian multinational conglomerate holding company headquartered in Mumbai, India. Their clients include Citibank, all right, RippleNet, GE, General Electric, and Microsoft, amongst others. So they're a global IT consultancy firm with clients, as we can see here. Launch of their Quartz blockchain solution. Quartz works with RippleNet and offers a new way for banks and financial institutions to connect with Ripple in a report titled Quartz Cross-Border Remittances. And this is TCS Tata Consultancy Service, stated, the Quartz cross-border remittance solution enables banks' payment systems to connect to the newer DLT-based payment infrastructures like RippleNet for processing of cross-border foreign exchange remittance transactions. All right. And then again, look at this connection as well. We have R3's Corda Enterprise blockchain platform connected as well. Right, Quartz will utilize Microsoft's Azure blockchain cloud and R3's Corda. We're going to see all of these interconnected, multiple options. Who knows? Now, again, Tata right here processes more than 1 billion accounts. Deployed at more than 450 installations worldwide, is the largest collection of components, enterprise and consumer apps for the financial industry made available through the cloud, helping firms become more agile and intelligent by leveraging the power of new and extended ecosystems. Guys, do you see how XRP is specifically, at least maybe not used right now, but it is connected via APIs or partners of partners like RippleNet? And especially if this, this new platform of on-demand liquidity, we know other groups like ACI Worldwide could literally white label the tech and do their own, or Bank of America do their own and, run something similar on the XRP ledger. Do you see why I am, quite bullish and believe that the future of XRP could happen pretty suddenly, and it is worth the risk for this type of investment? I hope you do, because right now we're in a global liquidity crisis, and this is the definition. And I think it's very odd that a lot of people have kind of been quiet this year. So I'm expecting this year to be substantial, and we will see something. Will it be towards end of year? I really hope not. I don't want to wait that long as you guys, but anything is possible. All right. So right here, we can see Tata Consultancy Services, Quartz, the smart ledgers, blockchain solution for enterprises and ecosystems. And now we can see where RippleNet actually fits. So we got the Quartz gateway right here, and we have the Ripple network right here under the Quartz Command Center. right under the administrators. So feel free to check this out. Showing Quartz gateway to existing systems as well with Swift right on the left. We can go off-chain, right? We have dev kits, and then look, again, R3 Corda and Ethereum. I also am bullish on Ethereum. Do I think the upside will be as high as XRP? Not necessarily, but I do believe that they will solve their scalability problems. I just think, projects that are integrated with, and I was talking with King Solomon again, and he makes a great point. You guys can invest in, rank number 300 or 500 altcoin, and it's, a penny cap or micro cap coin, and I wish you well, but the bulk of my investments will go after the projects that have the funding and are integrated, because maybe you guys will make more of a return than me, but I'm here just to ensure that I get money back. I want to make sure I have an ROI for my hard-earned cash as well. Right, so Corda, we can see the XRP integration along with Ethereum, and then Ethereum right there. So like these smart contract applications could be very real in the future. All right, next up, a little daily dose of hopium here. Thank you for sharing this with me, Sig for Life. Again, this is at Sig_4 for life. As we can see right here, so Blockport sharing this. So data, there's over $7 billion in stablecoins that sat on exchanges, up to $1.5 billion in the last month alone. A lot of money is on the sidelines waiting for the right moment to jump back into crypto markets and for Bitcoin to, potentially hit the bottom, because people believe that we will go lower, along with, I believe the sentiment is the same for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. All right, so there could be strong bullish pressure ahead. Typically, when the masses think we are going lower, we go higher, and vice versa. So we will simply have to wait and see what happens. But guys, $1.5 billion in the last month alone, $7 billion in stablecoins on exchanges, whether it's Tether or USDC, just sitting there. I am potentially bullish. I could see something shooting up relatively quickly here. Now, obviously, we are knowing what asset we hope for the money to go into, but potentially people might just be afraid of crypto and, afraid that a lot of projects will die entirely. So just be safe and always, always, always do your own research. All right, next, Michael, Val 5 links. So this is pretty cool. Typically, we are used to about $250,000 for FDIC, insurance for, money in banks and, things of that nature. The cool thing is this. Check this out. Civic Wallet is now offering $1 million FDIC-like insurance for crypto. So until now, people had to keep their coins in cold storage because people were worried about exchange hacks or, the server data being lost, etc. But now they don't have to worry about this as their holdings are becoming insured. I just hope that a lot of other people follow suit. Excuse me. And I mean, you guys can do a little more research on this. I'm looking for, keep in mind the keyword FDIC-like insurance for crypto. This is on Cointelegraph.com. We'll see, if other exchanges and groups follow suit with this. My projection is this is also bullish in trying to urge investors to, use money and hold it with the exchanges or certain wallets. But again, if it's not your private keys, you do not own the cryptocurrency. If you own some version of paper derivative notes of, gold and silver, I'm sorry, but you do not own the asset. All right, even Greg Manarino was talking about it. He said that, there's premiums for physical silver and physical gold, and they continue to rise higher and higher and higher. They're actually more expensive than what you see the price online for, paper notes. And again, Greg Manarino keeps saying this. He says the premiums on physical gold and, silver, physical silver, continue to rise as physical is getting harder and harder to find, yet they continue to pressure the paper derivatives, these fake notes. This is a scam of epic proportions, but one which cannot continue forever. That makes me very bullish on those assets. Now, for me, I'm very bullish in physical assets such as these precious metals that are, beyond undervalued due to the paper note. And, it's kind of mixing up what is true finite supply and then also digital assets. I feel a lot of people, are kind of one or the other. But guys, in this new economy on the way, I just think that we kind of have to welcome both. All right, right here, Michael, Val 5 links. Western Union has announced the launch of Digital Location, a new tool that enables people to send money from home. Users can choose phone calls or video in multiple language to connect to a money transfer personal service assistant. Now, I just wanted to share this again. This is payments.com, Western Union, one of the main competitors to MoneyGram. And I just found that to be very, very interesting. We're going to see more tools such as this where people are able to send money from home. They can choose phone calls or video in multiple languages to connect to a money transfer personal service assistant. Just wait until this is all automated as well. All right, next up, Wrath of Kahneman. Ripple uses Sony Bank launched MoneyKit, English language digital banking for foreign residents in Japan. In 2017, they joined SBI's consortium using the RC, formerly called Ripple Connect, cloud platform powered by Ripple. Will remittance be in play here too? Like SBI, Sony also invested in Securitize. You know who else invested into Securitize? Coinbase and Ripple. Guys, we're talking about a $10 trillion market alone. Digital assets are coming. Everything will be tokenized in some manner or another, whether they're index funds or, the multiple benefits of, sending, operational efficiency, cost, speed, scalability, along with asset fractionalization. All right, financial inclusion. I know originally cryptocurrency was meant to basically, stand for decentralization and freedom of money. I get the sentiment, and I'm right there with you. But you're going to be a fool if you don't think that the banks are here to capitalize off this opportunity as well. So many people that are unbanked in, Africa, India, anywhere. They might not even have a bank near them. But guess what? Some of these populations have cell phones, and they don't have a bank account. This is a huge opportunity for banks to make money as well and hopefully allow financial inclusion and help everyday people. So, I'm trying to be optimistic. We're living in very, very uncertain times, and I'm just trying to look at the silver lining, I suppose. All right, next up. So Matthew Liny segmenting the $1 trillion business-to-business payment market. So we can just kind of see here. This is on spendmatters.com 2020, March 31st. Just wanted to share this. So view when looking at from a corporate perspective is best understood as a visual guide to the providers. You can see a few groups. E-commerce, we can see some names like, Stripe and Payoneer. We're familiar with Payoneer. PayPal. We have MasterCard, the card networks here. Large enterprise and middle markets. We can see small businesses. We can also see, procurements, large enterprises, middle, and then, of course, Ripple right in the center here. Third-party infrastructure, non-B2B payment segmentation, plus the solution landscape. All right, so Ripple again, right there. Should be no surprise, one of the highest valued private companies to date in the world. Right, B2B landscape segments and public and private examples. Keep in mind, even the government is talking more and more about public and private partnership, whether it can be, with healthcare, with Walmart and Walgreens helping, or even in the fintech space, as Christine Lagarde has said multiple times, teaming up with the Circles and the Ripples of the space, as we've already said. Cross-border payments, $290 billion, guys. Right, disbursements, $100 billion. Working capital with American Express, RippleNet partner, $270 billion. And then payment processing. We know these solutions that are available to help these behemoths do that. Look, Visa right there. Now let's connect the dots to Earthport. And remember the document I shared in the previous video? Earthport and Ripple. There's just so many ways that this can occur. Basically, we understand endgame, though, is when this is utilized, XRP. All right, we're going to finish up with this, I believe. Yep. So right here, this is XRP_Crow. His website, guys, is Stedas. So right here on this picture, stedas.hr. Highly recommend it. I was sharing this. So this quote by me, I was just kind of sharing this. Remember that being misunderstood by small minds is a compliment. Being mocked, laughed at, and doubted is part of the journey. And he was just sharing and retweeting with Mark Yusko, again, founder, CEO of Morgan Creek Capital Management. This is one of my favorite quotes as well, so thanks for sharing this again. He says, and this gentleman knows what he's doing, the greatest wealth is created by being an early investor in innovation. Making that investment requires believing in something before the majority of people understand it. You will be mocked, ridiculed, and criticized for your non-consensus action. It is absolutely worth it. Guys, I appreciate it as always. Be sure to hit that like button, share this video around, and I will see you in the next video.